Here with the project truck again. It's a 1985 GMC Sierra K2500. Last video I posted a full walk around of the truck, showed you exterior, interior, everything. Just recently I posted actually just a post on Facebook showing that I installed a single DIN touchscreen radio in the truck. Had a lot of questions about it, so I figured I'd make a video not really installing it because I already installed it. I don't want to take it out, but just giving my review on it, what I like about it, what I don't like about it. Personally, I did not know that a single DIN touchscreen radio actually existed until I started researching it. Personally, I don't know what I did without CarPlay. I guess drove these old trucks around, but it's a really cool thing just because it's got a lot of the new technology in it, and it's really nice that you can put some of that technology in a truck like this. So I'm just going to go through it, show you the placement, where I put it, and then also maybe some things I would have done differently next time around, or maybe even on this truck. So I just got in the truck. As you can see, the touchscreen radio is installed down there. This is actually in the factory radio position. So let me start with the things that I like about it. Feel like it fits nicely in the dash. I don't feel like it looks too much out of place, even though it is in a little bit of a weird position. I also like how this specific radio, now there's a bunch of different options when you start looking for a single DIN touchscreen option. The one that I chose, I'll actually put a link in the description. One of the things that I did not like about the radio that I had, the single DIN radio that I had in here before, is it did require a very long cord. So I knew that I wanted a wireless option. So I really like this radio, in fact, that it has wireless CarPlay, also has wireless Android Auto. It has the Bluetooth capability if you don't want to do CarPlay. Personally, I really like CarPlay for navigation. It has a really nice user interface. For Spotify, I like that it flows nicely with the dash. So there are a lot of advantages to this radio. However, there are some disadvantages of some things that I do not like. One is to actually fit a single DIN radio into one of these trucks, you do have to cut the metal. So the factory radio is, I don't know, about maybe 40 to 50% of the size of this radio here, if you can see that. So you do have to actually cut out a single DIN hole for actually any aftermarket radio to go in here, unless you did an aftermarket replacement that they make for classic radios like this. And you can get them with Bluetooth. I think the big advantage to this radio is that it does have CarPlay. And it actually does have a user interface where one of those aftermarket replacements do not. So that's a big difference with this radio. So first thing I don't like about it, you do have to cut a hole. So the next thing I don't like about it is the position of the radio itself. So I decided to use the factory location for this radio. When you're looking at navigation, this is a little bit awkward just because you are looking a lot further down when you're driving. This was just a radio that was playing music. It wouldn't be a big deal. Where a normal or modern car would have the navigation up taller somewhere, maybe even in this pocket. So this is a non-AC truck. So this does not have an AC vent right here where an AC truck would. So one thing that I would change or potentially do for this truck is move this radio up to where this AC vent would be, or if this was an AC truck, I would try to relocate the AC vent down here and move the touchscreen radio up to the top. Another thing that I don't like about this model is this does not have a volume knob. So if I were to do this again, I would probably get a radio with a volume knob. Now, that's not a huge deal. I've been driving this truck around for a little while now that I've replaced this radio. And normally, before I start driving, I just press the touchscreen, set the volume where I want to, and leave it at that. But it would be a little bit more convenient if it did have a volume knob. I did see those options when I was researching this, or the reason that I didn't go that route is because the ones with the volume knob had a smaller touchscreen, and I was trying to get the largest screen that I could. And the way that you get the largest screen is not having the volume knob. So I opted out of it. Not really a deal breaker, just something that I find as a minor inconvenience. Yeah, those are the major things I don't like about it. One, cutting the dash, of course. Putting an aftermarket radio in these trucks, normally you have to modify something, so cutting the dash is not a big deal. Second being the location of the radio itself, and third being no volume knob. All in all, I was really happy that I put the touchscreen in there. I think it works well, especially for what I want. Really, the two biggest things that I wanted was wireless music and a large screen for navigation, or touch screen for navigation. So I personally, it fit my needs. I know it's not for everybody, and it doesn't really have that classic look. But for me, it adds a little bit of modern technology to a truck that I really like driving around. So it's the best of both worlds. As I mentioned, a couple things I would change going forward, but all in all, I was really happy to put that in there. I'm really glad that I found out that there was single DIN touchscreen radios. So in the future, I'd probably make the same modification, but with a few different changes. If that's something that you're looking for, a modern user interface that you can do navigation with wireless CarPlay, I highly recommend installing one of those radios in your truck.